Whoop, whoop. Today I was thinking about talking about something that happened today, which I thought was rather interesting. So let me start from the top. I was going to my bank. I was actually going to be depositing some money. I had some cash from a gig that I had did, so I was like, oh, let me deposit my little bit of money in there. So I went to go deposit it, and apparently the teller took it upon herself to take 95% of my cash and deposit only $20. So I had just walked out of the bank. They had locked the door real quickly, closed it, the whole 9 yards. I had just left. I only got but like a few feet before I realized, looking down at the receipt, like, okay, just double checking. Hold up, $20. So I go back to the bank, trying to go over the situation with who I thought might have been the manager. The guy didn't want to give me his name. On several occasions when I requested for his name, when I requested for assistance, when I explained the situation, he refused to do anything. He just was not going to help. Eventually, he did give me his name because I immediately got on the phone with customer service with the company itself. And I don't want to name the bank because I've been with them for so long, and I love them. I love being with them. Although I've heard complaints from other people, but honestly, they have always treated me well. So when this whole situation occurred, I presumed that there was going to be some kind of investigation to find out exactly what happened and why my money was not where it should be, like in my account. So I presume the girl must have just assumed that I wasn't completely paying attention. I was doing a lot of things, I was multitasking, so I thought she thought, got it. So the guy comes back to tell me I only deposited $20, and I'm thinking to myself, who walks inside of a bank to deposit a $20 bill? I mean, I don't. You know what I can do $20 at the ATM? You know, just running a theory, just saying. So, with that in mind, I'm explaining to him that's not what I deposited. He's, well, the cameras are somewhere else. He's giving me excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse, everything to protect this young kid. So now I'm getting pissed. So I file a dispute with my bank. I report both employees. And then on top of it, while I'm there, because I was irate, I was in the small little lobby area, right? You know, there's the bank and there's a little section where the ATM machine is, right? So I'm standing in there because it's a really, really, really hot day today. And I'm standing in the little area, and I'm irked, I'm irate, I'm just trying my best to be as calm as possible so I can articulate whatever it is that I need to in order to express myself, because I was very, very upset. So I'm standing by the ATM machine. He tells me as a threatening, well, we can't leave the bank because you're standing there. What do you mean you can't leave the bank? If I was using the ATM at the moment, there wouldn't be, like, it doesn't stop you. It's not like I was at the door telling him, I need my money, you're gonna give me back my money. I mean, come on guys, let's look at me. I'm 5'7", I weigh $120. Yes, I practice Kung Fu, but I also practice being kind to others. It's part of the Zen thing, you know, come on. So, he threatens me, the bank employee decides to threaten me and go, and because you won't move, we're calling the cops. So I thought to myself, okay, well, first of all, I was gonna call the cops anyway because my money's missing. And I was ticked off, and I was like, I'm gonna file a police report anyway because you have an employee there who just stole money from me. And because I just walked out of that bank, just that within that split second, you locked the door just to make sure everything was done for. I'm filing the police report. I don't just report to just your bank representatives and just your manager. Like, it doesn't stop there. If I have been wronged, I will climb up the ladder as far high as I get. If I need to contact the president of the country, I will. That's how I am. And I'm not doing it just to be a jerk. I'm doing it because that's what needs to be done in order for it to be rectified. So when he made the threat, like, I'm gonna call the police, it pissed me off, mostly because it was supposed to be a threat, and the way that it was said, it was because of one main thing. So I presume my response was supposed to be like, oh no, he's gonna call the popo on me. I should leave the scene. And I'm like, I'm not threatening you. I don't have any weapons. I don't have anything. I don't have a gun. I don't have a bat. I'm not even doing anything to you. In fact, you were on the other side of the glass, and I'm not stopping you from exiting the building. You can go. You can go, but I'm gonna stay here till I solve this issue. And since there's air conditioning in this area, there's no reason for me to move. So I think he thought when the cops arrived that I was gonna be like, oh no, and run. Here's my thing. I know he called the cops eventually because I was standing there for so long while I was on the phone with Chase, and I told him I'm on the phone with Chase filing the reports for everything. I'm standing, is all I'm doing. So because he decided to take advantage of something, he thought I was supposed to be scared. And this is what bothered me. I actually used to work at a precinct when I was a kid. I had worked in there during the summer. I loved working with them. It was a very interesting experience for me, considering that I grew up in what you would consider to be a bad neighborhood. It wasn't the safest neighborhoods to be living in. So I often heard complaints, oh, here comes the popo. I saw people running from the cops. I saw, shootouts in front of the buildings, those kind of things. That's what I'm accustomed to. So it was a rather interesting experience to work inside of the precinct, because from the neighborhood that I came from, it's like traveling to the other side, and I was like, wow, this is interesting. I had such a great time working with them. They even moved me up to the detective unit. And they actually gave me this huge bonus at the end of the summer, which I was thrilled about. Every detective in that place gave me $20 each. I was ecstatic, and I saved that money because I was using that money for my apartment for once I graduated high school. So he used the threat as if it was supposed to affect me because of my skin color, and that's what annoyed me, because I felt like there are good cops, there are bad cops. There are good teachers, there are bad teachers. There are good presidents, there are bad presidents. There are good moms, there are bad moms. Good dads, bad dads. There's good and bad of everything. That's what keeps the world turning. There's always going to be, there has to be a full circle. And to be honest with you, without the bad, we would not recognize the good. And I thought it was wrong of him to utilize the police as a form of threat when he's the one, well, rather his employee, who I think he may have been on the job with, to utilize them as a tool to threaten a person for something that's as serious as stealing money from a customer when they're depositing the cash in front of you. There's something very seriously wrong with that. And I thought, we have enough going on. We have the Black Lives Matter movement, which I do think is very important. We also had people going out, or like out in Texas, where the guy went and shot a bunch of cops for no reason, which I thought was completely uncalled for. So then we have this other situation with me just at a bank who just got my money stolen, which is going to be fixed shortly, don't worry, because I wasn't walking away until it was fixed. So, and let's say that that situation had escalated for no reason, but that's your threat, because you assumed, because of what it looked like, that should be a problem. Being around the police is a problem. And even when I saw them, I greeted them. There were customers coming in to use the ATM. I was opening the door for people, like, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, so what I was saying was that I had deposited, and I went back to what I was doing. They asked me for my ID. I gave them my ID. There was no complaint whatsoever. And I saw the look on the girl's face, and she went from, because at first she was standing inside the bank, like, yeah, she's gonna move because we were calling the cops and she'll get scared. We'll see it. And I'm like, child, you underestimate me. And unfortunately, she's some young kid. She probably thinks she just turned 21. And I'm like, you're making a lot of stupid decisions in your short time that you've been here. And her face changed once she realized that they were taking a genuine report of the entire situation. And I'm looking at her like, oh, you've never gotten caught. I got it. So she went from being cocky to suddenly scared. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to press charges. I just want my money. I just want there to be proof to the bank, so when they ask why they're investigating, I don't need you guys going through a loophole and then my temporary credited money to my account doesn't disappear. That's not going to disappear. I'm going to report this, so since the police can check the security cameras, I'll have my report and that'll be the end of it, and I can show that to the bank and I keep my money. So I thought it was such a how do I even describe this? There's 1,000 over 1 million words in the English language, and I can't even use any word that I can think of that I feel would be suitable enough to describe the situation to have the audacity to utilize the name of throwing the police at someone during a very serious situation to intimidate another person because of the color of their skin. I feel like we have enough going on. In fact, had she picked the wrong person, the person could have waited for her to leave the bank. Then it would have been a really serious criminal investigation. Like, she stole money from me, blah, 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 blah. People are whacked out of their minds nowadays. And as a child, you choose to do this. So I just wanted to kind of like touch base on the fact that, one, I'll talk about the issue that I had at the bank. I still love them. It's just that one situation. I'll leave that be. But I think it's wrong to add hype to a situation that's incredibly sensitive, especially in this country. I don't get scared when I see the cops coming and stuff like that, but I do remember growing up watching my father get pulled over excessively. I remember watching all these crazy things happening in my neighborhood, and if it wasn't in my neighborhood, it was in my friend's neighborhood. I saw a lot of things. So what I do is, if I see an individual who's an officer, I size them up in energy. I take a look at what their intentions are. And that's all you really can do, because you can't gauge a person nor use that person to scare somebody else. Because I had already told them I was calling the cops to report this. I guess they thought I was kidding. Not with my money. So, what I did want to lightly talk about, because I've been watching people making their YouTube videos about the Black Lives Matter movement, and I just thought, like, during this time, that is not the time to try to escalate a situation because you and your friend are stealing money when you work for a bank. I don't think they would be very, very happy with you at all. In fact, I think that Run Bank would be very disappointed, and in fact, the bank himself may actually press charges against you because you're damaging their reputation. But yeah, for those of you who are, you know, I do think the Black Lives Matter movement is very important, and I don't mean, and this is not against all lives matter. All lives do matter, but what the concern is when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement is the fact that there's a focus. And what happens is with that focus, they go, let's go for that one. And I'm not saying it's all cops, because it's not. If I thought it was all cops, I would be like, oh, I would have freaked out at the bank, but I didn't. So, all lives do matter. However, this guy took advantage of a situation, and I saw the wheels turning in his head like, yeah, this is gonna work. And I'm like, I can see your grand scheme working all inside your head, and it failed. And I think that was just wrong of him. One, besides the stealing, but to also escalate a very, very serious situation, you know, for no reason. Or you're trying to, and on top of it, you're trying to make cops look bad. Why would you do that? These are individuals who choose to go into the line of fire. They're going into people's domestic homes to take care of them, to protect the community, to help the community grow, to build. And yes, you do have the other side. You do. But that aspect actually applies to every job, to every individual, to every person, every lover, every mother, every parent. It does not matter what their job is. It's actually about the individual. What we should do to solve the issue about the bad, making the good people look bad, is probably another form of regulation. You know, find a way to regulate the system, find a way to improve or filter out as much bad as you can so people don't have to feel like they're scared of the cops, and people like him can't even use that as a threat. But yeah, it was a very hectic time. I was very ticked off because how do you go to a bank and you trust your bank? And then, like I said, I don't think Run Bank would be so excited about that. And I say run because it's one of the many words to describe what the bank is. Thank you so much for watching, and yo, leave your notes in the comments. Notes in the comments. Did I? Yeah, I forgot to speak English already. Make sure you guys tell me what you guys think about this whole Black Lives Matter movement. Let me know if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever deposited money into a bank and the teller steals the money, you know, thinking everything's a-okay, like you weren't paying attention? But yeah, let me know what you guys were thinking, and if you're not an apple bite already, yeah, you're going to become an apple bite, because there's a button down there. Let me assist you. Okay, so your mouse you're gonna scroll down, right? And you don't scroll down too far, like you're gonna just leave like the top of this video like here, so you should be in this area, right? So over here, I believe that's the side, and you'll see a red little button. It'll be like subscribe, 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 subscribe. Yeah, that's the button you're gonna click, so you can hear more of these crazy wacky stories that happens to me all the time. Won't that be fun? Thank you. Whoop, whoop.